Welcome back everyone. So in the last video, we saw list the products ordered in a period, which is 49th question in our SQL 50 series. And today in this video, we are going to solve the last question in our SQL 50 series. So let's dive in. Okay, so we are given users table, which has three columns: user ID, name and mail, where user ID is the primary key for this table. This table contains information of the users signed up in a website. Some emails are invalid. Now we have to write a solution to find the user who have valid emails. A valid email has a prefix name and a domain where. Prefix is a string that must contain letters, that is uppercase or lowercase. It must contain digits, an underscore, period, and or dash. This prefix name must start with a letter. So it must start with a letter. Then after that, it might contain uppercase, lowercase letters, digits, underscore, period, or a dash. And it should end with at leetcode.com, which is the domain. Now we can return the result table in any order. The result format is in the following example. So let's see the first example. So the first entry, it starts with a letter, it contains anything in between, and the domain is at leetcode.com. So the entry 1 is valid. For the entry 2, it starts with a letter, then it contains everything, but there is no domain, so it is not a valid entry. For the entry 3, it starts with a letter, then it can contain anything, and it ends with a domain, so it is a valid entry. Fourth is also a valid entry. Fifth is not a valid entry. And the reason is it starts with a letter, it ends with a domain, but in the mid it contains hash, which is not a valid character. So fifth is not a valid email. For 6, it is again not a valid entry because the domain is not same. For the 7th, it is again not valid because it doesn't start with a letter. Okay, so let me write the query so that we can understand it properly. So what we have to select is we have to select user ID, name and mail from users, where mail should form or check against a regular expression. So there is a operator that is regex. So we have to write a regular expression. Now as per the conditions, the email should start with a letter. So it should start with a letter. So letters can be small a to z or capital A to Z. We have to make sure that at least one character is used. So it must start with a letter. So the range should be at least one and maximum can be any number of characters. Then in the middle, we can have any alphabet that is smaller or lowercase or uppercase. We can have numbers. We can have underscore. We can have dot or period, and we can have a dash in any amount. And then we can have whatever comes under this regex can be included any number of times. And then we have a domain that starts with at leetcode.com, and this dot should be escaped because dot means anything that is single length, but we have to escape this, so that goes here the dot is not a regex, so it is a literal. Okay, so .com, and it should end here. There should not come anything after .com. So let me explain you once again. So there must be a character in front of the email. Then in the middle, any of the characters described in the square brackets can come any number of the times. So any number of times A to Z, small or uppercases, any numeric digits, underscore, period or dash can come. Then it must end with at leetcode.com. So let's see if the query works fine or not. Okay, so our test case has been passed. Now we will submit this. to see the final result. Okay, so our solution got accepted, and with this, the end of the series.